Hi, it's me, Silver the Wack. Sorry, my voice seems to be a bit hoarse. I hadn't noticed yet. Speaking for the first time today. Like, actually speaking. I let the coffee cool down a bit. Yeah, it's warm in this country. I don't know when the weather will cool down. Just a bit, just enough for me to be less annoyed. Yeah, in the city where I was yesterday, it seems like it's cool at this moment. At the moment I'm speaking. But I'm trying to check where I am. Yeah, it seems like it's also cool today. Like right now. But not in this room because I don't know if you know how it is with old houses, but in the summer it's very hot and in the winter it's very cold because there's no like insulation. Okay, but it seems like there will be the temperatures will lower tomorrow, and yeah, but today the maximum is 28 degrees Celsius. I do not know how much that is in American. I really have no idea. Let me see if I can change that. I think the app is not pleased with the attempt to change it. Let's see. I don't think it is. No, I don't think it's gonna let me do that. But maybe the other one will. Yeah, I am rambling too much and not saying anything. I don't want to drag this out for too long. Sorry. I want to actually be speaking, not just randomly talking to the phone. Got it. It seems like in Fahrenheit it is 82.4 degrees. 28 degrees Celsius is 82 degrees Fahrenheit. It's insane. Like when I hear Americans just casually mention the temperature that they currently have wherever they are, I'm like, how the hell are you alive? There's a calc in here. So 28 times 9 over 5, is that it? Plus 32. How the hell would I even go about calculating this, like with a pen and paper? I don't know. And I'm not supposed to know. I'm really bad at maths. I'm bad at humanities, come on. Just another pause. Here we are. Let's remove the mouse from the pause button. The coffee that I had yesterday was also good. It wasn't as good as this one, but it was still good. And this is not me riding McDonald's. That's really not something I would ever do. As much as I enjoyed working there, like because of the experience and the colleagues mostly. Also, I mean, like I said, I don't really have a lot to say about the customers. at least where I worked. The only times I had trouble was when was where was I only had trouble when high school aged kids showed up in groups. Like when they were alone, it was completely fine. But when they were in groups, yeah, I'm sure that anyone watching this will know exactly what I mean. Yeah, and since I'm bilingual, one time there was this group of particularly infuriating, entitled brats, right? These wannabe hit girls kinda types. And I immediately clocked what they were. Like, from the way they were speaking. They were, like, emulating a Cockney accent, which was kind of cringe, I would say. It was kind of cringe. Like, if you think that my accent is all over the place and you can pinpoint it to a particular place, just imagine people from the West Coast in the United Kingdom trying to speak with a Cockney accent. Like, upper class people at that too. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And they obviously were harassing the employees. This was thankfully before the era of TikTok, I think. When did TikTok appear? I know it was something else before that. Wait. The point, I think it only actually started popping off in 2020, because of what was going on. When did TikTok become popular? There we go, that's a good one. I'm so tired of these AI responses, like, ugh. So it started in 2018. Okay, the rise of the tic-tac-toe, like that one politician was trying to eat, as the kids say, by calling it tic-tac-toe. Like, that's not funny. That's not as funny as you think. Lady, please don't do that. The description in here is very... It's something else. I'll read it before I do the breathing exercises and talk about yesterday in a more relaxed tone. So what it says here: why is Gen Z so obsessed with TikTok? For Gen Z, more so than millennials, TikTok enhances socializing by creating opportunities for group activities like dance, challenges and trends. It is almost like an extension of themselves, a virtual personality, a platform for self-expression and a creative outlet. Do you agree? I will avert myself from comments. But I think I've commented enough with my face. Yeah. So let's do the 478. 478. You listening to some noise? That's the fun going on. Oh, when I need, speaking of wasting electricity, I need to go check the reading, the numbers. I'll be right back. It will be a second to you. If you even care about that. Look. Back. I can put this. Oh. Do I need that? Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm not. It's warm. Let me pause. Yeah, I am wearing a t-shirt today. The very cool hand-me-down camel shirt. Can you even see it? Driest joke in the world. But we'll do the 4-7-8 breathing. If I remember correctly, this one is breathe for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. It's one of the default ones.
Relax and get comfortable. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. 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 Well done.
There we go. Seems like it's working. I need to reduce the brightness of this film. It's not needed right now. But anyway. Ooh, that was good. So yesterday I had to go to that meeting, and when I was returning I actually started filming a vlog, like on the way back. I was aiming the camera at the floor, so it was kind of a shoegaze vlog, but I was too upset, so I just deleted it and didn't post anything aside from that weird vlog in the middle of the night where I went to pick orange tree blossoms from my grandma's yard. I didn't go into some random person's yard to steal their blossoms in the middle of the night. It was my grandma's yard in particular. And what I said in the video, if it's even like audible, about there being no problem in picking the blossoms. Yeah, maybe it was visible in the video with the minimal lighting that I had available, but there were still oranges from last year. So there is never a shortage of oranges in this country, especially in the rural sides of it. And we have, but how many? So that's 3 at the front, and there's another 4 in the back, in the yard behind the yard. So in total, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. We have 7 orange trees. Do I have to use my fingers? Yes, I do. There's a... I'm not sure if this is the correct word, but we call them tangerina. I think it's tangerine in English, but I'm not entirely sure, because when I lived in the UK, oranges were not exactly accessible as they are in here. Like, you can buy, if you don't have oranges, you can get them for €1 and 25 a kilogram. I think that's around £2 like weight in other weight measures. Because we also use that in the UK. That's why I'm more familiar with that than with Fahrenheit. There's also stones, but I'm not entirely sure how that one works. I'm sorry, I really am not. Anyway, I was filming that vlog, but then I was getting too upset, and I don't want to be that person. I can be upset, I can vent on my Tumblr and stuff, but to come and show my face and be all upset, I don't want to do that. And the reason why I was upset, I can talk about it, it's fine. I was just too upset because it was too fresh. And a little tangent, since I like literature and poetry and stuff like that. They say that the best time to produce art, any kind of art, but in this case it was about poetry, is when you feel it, like when it's happening. When something is happening, you just grab a pen and paper, or a pencil and a piece of paper, or your phone and the notes app, and you write whatever you're feeling. Then you do what you may with that. That's the rawest of the feeling. Then you can grab it and tweak it and make it more aesthetically pleasing or whatever, or follow some rules, like rhymes and stuff like that, if you so wish. From what I've seen, a lot of people who are into poetry these days don't really care about metrics and rhymes, or even stanzas. Most things are just blank verse, and I'm not entirely sure if it's for the same reason some poets go for blank verse, because even in blank verse, blank verse means that there is no rhyme, but there still has to be some sort of cadence and reason, otherwise it just reads like you wrote a paragraph and broke it down into smaller chunks to make it look like a poem. And I can tell when that happens. Because, for example, you can have a verse that's just a single word, right? But that word being on its own should have some sort of meaning, right? Because poetry is about silence. That's why I like it. Like, you see, the bulk of the text is on this side or on this side or, in the middle, whatever. The point is that there's a lot of blank space in the page. Or on the page, rather. Sorry. And that space means something. There's something there that's the meaning that you have to draw from there. And of course, you can argue that you have to interpret it based on what's on the page. But that agrees with what I'm saying, doesn't it? Like, you have the page, you have all that space that's, empty, but that space has meaning, and that's what you have to feel by reading the words on the page. And even like when you do a tab, and the words are not aligned with the place where you put them, like here or here or here or here in the middle, or like acrostic, whatever, just a chunk. You still have to. There still has to be some sort of reason as to why that silence is there. In my opinion, at least. I'm not a prescriptivist when it comes to anything. I just think that, poetry is a genre in itself, and it looks aesthetically pleasing when you put it on a page and it's just a bit of text and a bunch of white, and some authors like to draw stuff in the empty space, which is already a bit telling, I think. Like, if you put it after the poem, then it's just an illustration, but if you put it right beside the poem or within the poem, it's part of it, because that's an icon that represents something. That's what I was saying about linguistics the other time I talked about linguistics. That represents something. If you draw like a leaf or a branch or a tree, that has meaning, that adds something to the poem. If it's inserted in the poem or in the space right next to the poem. That's what I think anyway. Maybe it's a hot take, a hot take about poetry. But like I said, I'm not discrediting people who just write a paragraph in small chunks, because prose can be beautiful, prose can be poetic. It's just the sounds and stuff, mostly in this case. I think with blank verse, more than rhyme, you should mind the sounds, like repeated sounds, repeated words, stuff like that. There's a style of poem that is a single sentence. I think it's called American verse. But my mind is not really working at full capacity. It's never working at full capacity, but you know what I'm saying. And I went on a tangent. See, that's why it's good to do breathing exercises. And that person is very right. Western society really overlooks breathing exercises. I personally, meditation is not for me. Unless it's a very specific kind of meditation, like with music, or like you know, the drums, with drums, because the drums distract me from the guidance, like that, the instructions, and they you know, I'm not entirely sure why that is, but yeah, meditation only works for me when it has drums, when it has a beat. That's why shamanic meditations are the only ones that work for me. And before anyone says it's appropriation, no, it's not. Shamanism is something that was present in all tribes, in all indigenous peoples. And there's one thing that white people forget, is that everyone was indigenous once, and those buried memories are still within the genetic code. And I think, and of course it's just an opinion, and it's about esoteric stuff, so it's probably not as controversial as talking about, you know, people or commenting on people's lives. I think that a lot of people feel like there's something missing in their lives. And when I went on my own little journey, well, not little, it was quite harrowing, in search of my roots, if you will, because I spent my whole life running from supernatural stuff and premonitions and the stuff I felt when I touched people, and yeah, that kind of thing. I realized that getting in touch with your spiritual side, regardless of what it is, of what it might be, is very important, because, and of course this is part of my research, but the spirit is an integral part of the human existence, right? So rejecting that will leave you feeling like something's missing. And again, this is one of those things, you either believe it or you don't. It's really none of my business. I'm not going to get into anyone's business. I'm not going to preach anything. I'm just saying what I think and what I personally believe in. I believe in everything. I have a bit of a religious trauma regarding Roman Catholicism, not because I was raised in a very fanatic, so to speak, conservative context. I mean, I was, but not in my own household, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I grew up hearing that I was going to hell, and to this day I still pray and stuff because I feel bad if I don't. But I understand that that's not right. That's not how belief should work, right? I don't doubt that the one they call Jesus Christ was a good preacher and had some really good ideas, because when I read the Bible, like, I didn't read everything in it, but the parts about Jesus Christ, just very telling of his character. And the character is not hateful, right? So the whole idea of queer people are going to hell, women are inferior, stuff like that, that's not in the Jesus parts. At least not as far as I can tell. As I could tell from what I read. There's even that one famous moment when there was the stoning of a sinner woman, and Jesus says, he who has never sinned may throw the first stone, and then nobody threw any stones. There's a joke about that. I just remembered, since I made it part of my vlogs to tell stories. I have another story to tell, by the way, and I will tell you. But this one is just a goofy story. It's basically that, and it's Jesus saying that he was never missed may throw the first stone, and then there's one man in the audience who throws the first stone, and it connects, and Jesus is like, bro, you never missed, you never sinned, you never missed. I'm translating. Wait. Let me try to translate it so that it makes sense. I'm sorry. So, he was never missed. In the sinning department. No, because it's... Okay, I know the translation, yes, I got it. He was never failed may throw the first stone. So they changed the wording a bit. He who has never failed may throw the first stone, and then one guy throws a stone and it connects, and Jesus is like, bro, you never failed? And the dude is like, I mean, not from this distance. That's probably a joke. One of those dry uncle jokes that you hear at barbecues. It's so bad. Oh god, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. Just getting myself in a better mood. Because yesterday was not good. Like, I went there for the bi-weekly. Bi-weekly? No. Oh yes. Yeah, it happens every 2 weeks, so it's bi-weekly. And Yeah, I went there and wasted my time basically. I mean, I did have some coffee. It was nice. I was trying to do some crochet. Ended up having to frog it because my hook was not very good. Like, I think I should have followed the person's instructions from the get-go. And there wasn't enough light in there, so yeah, I ended up frogging it, and then the last bit was just not coming undone, and I just yanked it. That was an unpleasant noise. I'm so sorry. But then I went and got. I went and got more purple. It looks blue. And the other roll of this shade. For anyone wondering, these are $2.95. It's a steep price for someone who doesn't have a lot of money, but it's cheaper than what's going on here. What in the name of the good Lord is this? Okay, I don't know what the hell I was being bothered by about. I don't need you, whatever the hell that is. We're getting to 40 minutes already. But yeah, I went there, I got that. I also got more things, and I seriously, honest to God, I just want to be able to sell something. I got some more clasps to make more coin pouches. I also got some beads. I got these red ones. And I think I'm going to make something with the red ones before I turn off the recording, because I also got some needles, and it would be great, awesome even, if I could find them. Yeah, big needles. because mine were too small. These are like yarn needles, tapestry needles. I just needed one that allowed me to easily thread yarn and wasn't too big, so that I could thread it through beads. But I'm gonna drink my coffee. And then I'm gonna drink the coffee now. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna do the bracelet. And I'll return and read the story. Yeah, I have mugs coming up. I have one there that is for Easter. So I won't use it before that. And I got another one, which hasn't arrived yet. It was quite cheap because it was a sale of some kind. And yeah. But I'll be right back. I'm back. I made a bracelet. I was just checking what color it looked in the viewfinder. Yeah, it looks blue. It's blue with red beads. It looks kind of wonky. I was not looking at the tutorial. For this one right here, this I looked at the tutorial. So it looks a bit better. This was actually a bracelet that I already had, but it was like threaded with elastic, and I just wanted to make sure that it would not break. And again, you're gonna ask, oh my god, not another one. And I'm like, I like bracelets. I just like bracelets, you know? I like bracelets. Just let me be. Let me try to tie it so that I can snip off this tip. There you go. Ow. Hey, where are you going? Dumbass. Not talking to myself this time. Just, yeah. and I have some beads that I found yesterday, which I was able to salvage when the bracelet snapped. Yeah. There are some missing. Where are they? Where are they? Want another one? Another one. A million paper clips as well. This thing is not working. It's fine. Ow. Yeah, these are going in the back. There is a little bag that I used for the smaller ones. No. Yeah. Okay. So tail. Yeah, this one is another one from the island, North African kind of vibe that I remembered more or less, and I will translate it as I remember it. So let's say it's called the salt and the water, and it goes like this. So once upon a time there was a king who had 3 daughters, and one day he turned to them and asked them how much they liked him. And one of them said, "I like my father more than I like the sun." The king was pleased. The other one said, "I like my father more than I like myself." And the king was also pleased. And the third one said, "I like my father more than food likes salt." And the king did not understand that and was very upset, so he threw the daughter out of the palace. As one does in folk tales. So she was very sad, and she went into the world and became very tattered along the way, despite still carrying some of her belongings with her. And she eventually asked for work at another palace, and she became a cook at the palace. And one day the prince was eating a pastry and noticed a small ring inside the pastry. It seemed very valuable, and it did not belong to the jewels of the palace, of that particular palace. So he was suspicious and started spying on the cooks. That's when he spotted this very beautiful cook and realized that mannerisms were not those of a peasant. And upon realizing that, he asked for permission from his father to marry this cook. And when he confronted the cook admitted that she was indeed the daughter of the king from another palace, and that she'd been thrown away for the reasons of saying that she liked her father more than food likes salt. And the prince understood that, and the king also understood that. And they were to be married. And so when that happened, everyone was invited, but she had one condition: that she would cook for the wedding. And so she put salt in all the plates, save for the one destined to her own father, who was also invited for the wedding. And when the father ate the food, he was very upset because the food was unsavory. And the king of his soon to be son-in-law, which he didn't know because he hadn't seen his daughter yet, the king pretended to be very upset, so he called the cook, and lo and behold, the princess appeared dressed in full wedding attire. And the king was very surprised to see her and was very ashamed of himself because he finally understood. When she said that she liked him more than food likes salt, that's what she meant. Food without salt is unsavory and doesn't taste very good. Yeah, and that's the story. And she forgave the father, and everyone lived happily ever after at the end. That's the story. It's not exactly a teaching story. I just remember that one because it's like I mean, it's a common theme for someone to pretend to be someone else, like royalty to pretend to be someone else and stuff like that. But yeah. Yesterday was not good. I did get some more things. I will be doing something else today because tomorrow is my brother's birthday. And yeah, I will take a picture and post if I manage to do the thing that I want to do. It's a small thing. But yeah, I kept doing this thing. It's still in the works. Did I put the hook back or did I lose it? The perpetual question. I think I put it back. Yeah, I put it back. Yeah. That's it. And that's quite enough. It's almost 1 hour long of absolutely nothing. Just random stuff. But that's how I use my voice since, I go to those meetings and I barely get a word in. Because everyone's voice is more important than mine. And yeah, it's with that prof who screwed me over, so I think, yeah, she just wants me to hate her completely. And if that's not the goal, well, she sure is doing a great job at that. But yeah, that's all. That's enough. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow there will be no video. On Saturday there might be one in the evening because I'm not going to be home. Actually gonna be with homie. I'm not sure. Kind of unpredictable. But in a uneventful way, I think. But yeah, that's all. That's more than enough. That was a very unsavory story. It was kind of boring. I will try to translate the rest of my grammar stories and try to remember the other ones by asking my aunt and stuff. And yeah. Stay well. Hope yesterday was good for you. Hope today is also good for you. Whenever you're watching this, and hope tomorrow is also good for you. And I'll be back. That's a threat. Bye.